Welcome to Science Makes Me Smile. Every idea begins as a question, not to settle the truth, but to explore it. What we discover along the way depends on how deeply we're willing to think. I'm young Dr. JGC. Let's begin.
Does political science truly deserve the title of a science?
Political science occupies a curious and often contested place among the disciplines that claim the title of science. On paper, it appears to meet the criteria. It involves rigorous study, demands years of training, and produces a substantial body of research. Students pursuing advanced degrees in political science engage with theory, data analysis, comparative systems, and methodological frameworks that resemble those found in more traditionally accepted sciences. Yet despite all of this, a lingering skepticism remains, one rooted not in the structure of the field, but in its relationship to real-world practice. The core of the critique is straightforward. In disciplines like chemistry, physics, or medicine, those who study the field typically go on to practice it. Chemists conduct chemical research, physicians treat patients, and engineers build systems. The line between academic preparation and professional application is direct and visible. In contrast, political science seems to lack this continuity. Most individuals who actively practice politics, those who run for office, craft legislation, or wield governmental power, are not trained political scientists. Instead, they often come from backgrounds in law, business, activism, or the military. This creates an apparent disconnect. If political science is truly a science of politics, why are its practitioners so rarely the ones actually engaged in governing? This tension gives rise to the argument that political science may not fully deserve the label of science, at least not in the same sense as the natural or medical sciences. The implication is that a true science should not only study a domain, but also produce individuals who directly operate within it. By that standard, political science appears more observational than practical, more interpretive than applied. However, this critique, while compelling, rests on an assumption that may not hold across all disciplines, that the purpose of a science is to produce practitioners of the phenomena it studies. Many established fields challenge this notion. Economists, for instance, do not necessarily run economies, just as sociologists do not govern societies, and psychologists are not always clinicians. These disciplines aim to understand, explain, and predict patterns of behavior rather than to directly enact them. In this light, political science aligns with a broader category of sciences concerned with human systems, fields where the subject of study is too complex, decentralized, and influenced by countless variables to be practiced in a straightforward way. In the end, the question may not be whether political science is a real science, but rather what kind of science it is. It does not function as a science of execution, where theory translates directly into practice through its practitioners. Instead, it operates as a science of understanding, one that seeks to analyze, interpret, and explain the structures and behaviors that define political life. This distinction does not invalidate the field, but it does place it in a different category, one that invites both respect for its rigor and scrutiny of its limitations.
Science Makes Me Smile, presented by young Dr. JGC, a creation of old Dr. JGC.
Hit subscribe below so you never miss any of our new episodes.
We truly appreciate your comments. Please let us know your thoughts about this episode.